Everybody died, man.
Oh shit. Okay, straight out of the gate, man.
Straight out of the game, man.
All right, this is the spoiler filled.
It's filled to the
review.
brim, man.
Filled everything. We will be talking about everything. So if you haven't seen the movie, you probably don't want to watch this. But by now, you've probably seen the movie 657 times. So you know the jizz.
You know the jizz, my man.
Yes, you know that jizz, my man.
You know that jizz, my man. Get this man a
Get
shield.
this man a shield. That scene was badass, by the way, too.
That was cool.
But
They are friends.
yes, let's just talk about everything. Infinity War.
Man.
Thanos was a freaking badass, and at some points he was freaking unstoppable, man.
Man.
Especially at the end when he got all the Infinity Stones, he was just bashing them left and right. That
One
scene
of the
was
best
amazing.
scenes of the Purple Man was when he's crying, man. I was
Yeah.
like, how did you...
Whoa. Like,
he is crying and it looks human.
Yeah,
he's
the tear
purple.
was like rolling down his face in like the crevice in his freaking
In
ball
his ball sack
chin.
shit. It was, in the nooks and crannies there, man.
Yeah,
it was in there. But I was like
his
whoa. The weird thing is they are showing emotion with motion
Red
capture. He was there, and then he was a sad man. He was lonely.
Yeah, he was, but he can fly.
He is
He
cloak
can
and dagger,
float.
basically.
He's the cloak,
He
but
misses
he's
his dagger.
Red Skull.
He's the Red Skull cloak version. It was weird.
Arrogance may not be a uniquely American trait, but I must say you do
I
it
remember
better than anyone.
When he showed up, we both, I'm pretty sure, we both were like,
We were both probably like,
Yeah.
we had this mental connection. It was like, oh god, it's the Red Skull. Yes.
actually confirmed, it's not the guy.
It's not Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
No, I looked it up.
Yeah, I
he
looked
didn't
as
want
well.
to do it for some reason.
Freaking weird.
But the guy, he sounded like it. But even in the theater, I was like, that's
This is-
not freaking Hugo
It's
Weaving,
not,
man.
it was iffy for me. I was like, maybe he's sounding like that because he's lonely and
Maybe because he's a little
Floating.
older now, but
floating. And
like stuff like that, I usually pick up on that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff really quick. So I immediately had like, wait a minute, something's off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him apparently.
But still didn't
But
bother
still,
me. I was
it's
like,
the
still,
Red Skull.
it's him. Fuck,
It's
that's
him,
cool.
man.
But
Freaking
that
epic.
stuff when he was like, that whole scene with Gamora was so great because that was. Because the thing is, they showed us this movie, the purple guy, he's the villain, and blah blah blah. But it needed to make him relatable as well, and it needed to like a good villain is either like completely evil and he's just evil because he's evil and like the Joker, he's insane.
Yeah.
And you have good villains who believe in what they're doing,
Yep.
like
They believe what they're doing is the right thing.
like Killmonger and Thanos as well. And in that scene, you still see that he has feelings. Because he loves
that was
Gamora,
the
but
thing,
he
like,
needs
it
to
shows that he still has emotions,
but he needs to
even
kill
though
her.
even though he's flipped up.
Yeah, but he needs to kill her because in his mind he's like, because he even says in the movie, he's like, I'm the only one. Fate chose me, and I'm the only one who
like
can do
I'm
it.
the only one who has the guts
Yeah.
to.
Nobody does it, so
do
I'm
this.
like, he's the garbage man. He's like, nobody does it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yep. And he even gives up his one and only love.
Yeah. And I actually like that it didn't do stuff with death in this movie.
Yeah, because
That would be freaking weird.
Yeah. Like
That'll
they
be
just made
another
it,
character.
like just Thanos' thing,
Yeah.
and not,
Mrs. Death and like pleasing her and blah blah. And that was really good because if they would introduce
because then he
another
would
character.
just be a puppet, and now he's just acting on his own.
Yeah, because in the comics,
Shit.
he like snaps his fingers and she's just not impressed. It's freaking funny, actually. He's like, okay, I love you. And she's like, she doesn't freaking care. And he's like, well, maybe if I kill half the universe, you will love me. And he snaps his fingers. And then she's like, bruh, okay. And then she still doesn't love him. And it's freaking weird.
Well,
It's
that's fucked up.
So, but it's good they didn't do it.
Yeah.
I like that they focused on Thanos, like we're kind of trying to humanize him in a way, and it worked. I was like, at moments I was like, but I mean,
Like, yeah, he's kind of right.
he's right in his own way. It's
The whole like killing half of the universe. Like,
a bad thing for
it's,
genocide, man.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I guess it would work,
like
and then like people would be more wealthy
because there's just
because there's
stuff
more
for everyone.
resources and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so flipped up that you just can't freaking do it, man.
Yeah, because
And he does it. Like he's
and the cool thing is like he's the last scene. He's sitting there with his fried Infinity Gauntlet, and he's just sitting there, and you see him like, and he's
smiling at the sunset.
and he's on the planet of Gamora, He's not on his own planet, on the planet Gamora.
Okay.
And he is just sitting there in the hut, and he's like, and that planet is apparently doing really well because he told Gamora, he was like, yeah, well,
Yeah, because he wiped out half the population.
and he's like, and that was really cool, by the way. They showed it really well in that scene because there were people on the left side and people on the right side. And then he like gives us, and then they kill off the whole left side.
Yeah, that's
just showing that, hey, he keeps
kills
going
half
to
of
planets, kills half the population, and then moves on. And they live happily ever after because when that last scene, that stuff looked good, man. Like yellow and goldish, and it looked like fruitful.
Yeah.
And the one of the like most grappling and emotional things for me was when Peter was going away.
Yeah, Peter was dying.
And he's like,
damn.
Mr. Stark,
like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
And he's Stark. He's starting up. He's
Stark
like,
is
no,
like breaking inside.
no, not again.
But he's just a kid, and he's like scared as shit. And
Stark
that was brutal.
definitely blames himself because he's like, yo, I pulled this kid into this.
Yep.
Because I basically gave him the suit and blah blah, and of course he jumped him himself, but in his like from his perspective, he pulled him into this, and now he is dead, quote unquote. So it's his fault.
Yep.
And actually, interesting thing is, I was watching some theories and stuff. So we all watched the movie, right? The movie plays out. Thanos, he wins, snaps his fingers. Half population in the universe dies. And then in the post-credit scene, they're driving, and then they both disappear as well.
The Maria Hill and Nick Fury.
Yeah, Maria Hill and Nick Fury.
He sends the
thing,
message to
Captain Marvel, cool. But the thing is, like in the beginning of the scene, in the post-credit scene, it says like, "Oh, did we hear anything from Stark?" And she's like, "No, he still hasn't, contacted us yet. He's still probably in space." Blah blah. And then I was watching theories about this that there are some runs where different people start like wearing the gauntlet. Iron Man wore it. Captain America wore it.
Yeah, Cap wore it.
Some people think that Gamora is gonna wear it. And then
Gamora's gonna come back.
Yeah, Gamora's gonna come back.
Yeah, probably.
Because the thing is, like in one of the scenes in the last part of the movie, he snaps his fingers and then he goes into what they think is the Soul Stone plane. This is the Soul world because the Soul Stone itself is a contained world where has souls and stuff. And because
and that's why Gamora was there.
Yeah, he sacrificed her, and that's why her soul is there. So they think, like, in the next movie, and this is a theory, but it's a really cool one. I'll explain it. So in the next movie, they will somehow, Ant-Man and the Wasp, they are, like, in their movie, they're going to the quantum universe. They're going to become so small that they will go to the quantum universe, and then...
The quantum realm, yeah.
The quantum realm, you can, like, go everywhere, blah, blah. So they're going to use that kind of unique stuff to go into the Soul Stone. Then they're gonna save Gamora, like Peter Quill, the Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna save Gamora, and then Gamora kind of somehow gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and either she wears it and then wishes the whole universe back, or and this is a really cool theory as well. Iron Man, he wears it, and then he needs to because many times in the comics people wear it and they're like, oh, it doesn't work, but you need to like kill off. You need to sacrifice some part of yourself to make it work, like he did with Gamora. Then they think that he is gonna kill Cap and then wish half the universe back. And that would be something.
That is an interesting theory, but I don't think.
Yeah, but
I really don't think that's gonna happen.
But it would be cool though. I would think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because it would.
Tony has to kill Cap.
Yeah.
But the whole thing in this movie was like, we don't trade lives. And then Steve would be like, okay, just kill me.
Yeah, but no. The thing is, like, probably freaking... Because the thing is, they are still not friends, but they still... under their living, they still love each other.
Yeah,
Cap, like, Tony doesn't believe in the whole thing. Like, and Cap believes me. Cap's like, no, we don't spread lives, and blah, blah, and I'm the Cap. And then, but Tony is, like, completely from the different side. He's like, yo, if you need to fix something... we can sacrifice some people in that sense a little bit, and that would be a pretty cool, for me at least. I would say like, whoa, that's a pretty cool thing. And then freaking Cap dies, and probably then Tony gets killed off as well. And then the two front runners, they die. Then all of the young characters that I like, because it's the thing is like all of the characters that disappeared are kind of the new generation. They made it pretty.
Everyone that vaporized is
Yeah.
like the guys that will continue the MCU.
They made it pretty
like
obvious.
all the OGs are still here.
So they made it pretty obvious who's gonna,
It's pretty obvious like who's gonna ultimately go out of the MCU.
Yeah.
And in some way, in Avengers 4, they're gonna have to like reverse it or switch it or whatever.
Because there's also the
make
time travel
the
theory
OGs
that you're on. That one.
Yeah.
Explain that one. Yeah.
Which is gonna explain theories the whole time instead of actually going into the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a great movie.
It is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Well, I'll just try to keep it a little short, but yeah, like all the OGs are still here. All the newer sort of characters are vaporized, and in some way in Avengers 4, I think they're gonna somehow have to switch it in a way because all the OGs need to go and all the new guys need to continue. And in Civil War, Tony has this barf technology where he can access memories and stuff. And Joe Russo said that may or may not, wink wink, come into play in Avengers 4. So, and you saw the set pictures of Banner, Tony, Steve, and Ant-Man in the Battle for New York. So yeah, Ant-Man and Hawkeye are going to be, I guess, going to have a bigger role in Avengers 4.
Yeah, because like the thing was,
and then maybe like in the okay.
No, you finish your story. Yeah.
Just like they go back to the Battle for New York, so maybe then there they do something that prevents the whole thing, and then freaking saves the universe or whatever.
Yeah. And then
or maybe that's part of it. Like they get the Tesseract,
kinda,
and they like go back in time where they could salvage the Infinity Stones. Maybe something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it will make sense. But one of the things that I like, right off the move when it was like happening, I was like, where is Hawkeye?
Yeah, I thought Ant-Man and Hawkeye were gonna be in the movie. And then they just weren't. I was like, okay, I guess.
But the weird thing is, they were like, oh, he's on his own journey. That they said it freaking in the panels and stuff. So because I was like,
Black Widow said, that Clint and Scott took like a deal or something because their families had to be protected or whatever. That's it. So they are
somewhere
under the radar.
Under the radar.
Somewhere.
And what they are like. What I think they're doing, and some other theories as well, terrorists on YouTube, that like in this movie they like were like, like let's not flood the movie with characters because there are a lot of characters in the movie already. So we just like pull out like the human kind of characters that are like close to human, since Hawkeye, Ant-Man, like those people, and then give them more light in the fourth one. And like in between, Ant-Man is gonna, he's gonna do the quantum universe thing, and then we can maybe use that to like give him a final part in the next movie as well, and then Hawkeye comes back as well, and like give the guy some redemption. And that would make sense.
Hawkeye, I guess, I don't know if Hawkeye is gonna go out of the MCU.
I am not sure how many movies he has in his deal.
No, I don't know.
I really don't know. Because he is a cool guy. He feels really familiar. When I see him on the screen, I'm always like, cool.
Yeah. I like Hawkeye.
He's the family man, man.
It's like, oh man, he's the dude.
Yeah.
He's the glue that keeps it sort of together.
Yeah, right.
I always like Hawkeye. But
I like Hawkeye. And let's talk about the beginning of the movie. Because that is some insane shit to pull off.
Yeah, it was like really dark, just right from the start.
How did they do that though? Because that's literally insane.
What?
Like if a rider comes to you, it's like, let's kill off Loki in the first 5 to 10
Thanos
minutes.
invades the Asgard ship and kills half the population, and then he stabs Heimdall. So Thor's best friend is gone, and then he kills Loki.
Slaps the Hulk.
He slaps the Hulk around. So you know that he's crazy powerful.
And he's not using stone. Let's note that.
And he's not even using a stone. No.
At that point.
He's just boxing him and he slams him into the ground.
And we gotta say, we said it in the car when we were driving back as well, it is weird how Thanos in some kind of sense becomes weaker every time he gets a stone.
Yeah, like in the beginning, he's going one-on-one with the Hulk and just
without
owns him.
using a stone. Without
Using the stone, and then Thor hits him, and then it basically does nothing.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the movie, when they fight on Titan, then Star-Lord and Spider-Man, they can all fight him for some reason.
And then it's like miraculously Spider-Man's on par on some shit.
Yeah.
What is weird because he has never been. I mean, in the comics he's really strong, but he has never been. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's the MCU, it's not the
Hulk
comics.
is slapping, or like Thanos is slapping Hulk around, and then Iron Man goes one-on-one with him.
And he has 2-3 stones at that point.
Yeah, I guess
3 or 4.
3
or 4. And so that was kind of weird. I mean,
like,
didn't get me.
And then
out
he's
movie.
like, like weaker for some reason.
When he has,
and then at the end, when he comes to Wakanda,
yeah,
then he's all of a sudden like really strong again.
Yeah,
and he owns everyone.
Because that scene where the music like stops, it's like gone, and everybody's just jumping at Thanos, and he's like sweating them away. Like War Machine comes in, like the whole shoes like
crushes him.
him.
Like he puts
Falcon
Banner
comes and he just sweats him away.
Yeah, and then Banner and the Hulkbuster comes at him, and he puts him in the wall, and then Steve goes one-on-one with him and tries to hold his hand, and then he bashes him.
I gotta say, I was bashing on the scene when I'm watching the when we before the movie. I was like, God, it's stupid. He can't push his hand and like hold it. That's freaking stupid. Steve can do it. But I mean, it was
in the
cool.
movie, it was cool. Freaking epic, man.
It was cool. Let's go. Just accept it. That man had the best entrance in the whole movie as well.
Yeah.
With the freaking train and then the music hitting, and I was like,
you see the train, you see the shadows. Like, what is
and
that?
You know
it's Cap.
And
then, oh man, the train passes, and then you just see this silhouette,
and you're like, man,
he's like, oh dude. And then Proxima Midnight throws a spear, he catches it, and he walks into the light, and
and I was like, I was moving my pants at that point. I was like,
I was like,
let's get ready for this.
I was like, yeah,
my boy is coming in,
my boy Steve.
And I liked, I liked the bromance between Black Panther and Captain America.
Yes,
it felt so familiar. He was coming to Wakanda. Because the cool thing was like, we need to get a stone out of his head. And like he's like, I know a place.
Yeah, because Steve suggested it because he knows Bucky's there and he knows T'Challa. He's like, I know a place, and then they go there. Oh man!
And I liked how T'Challa called Bucky the White
Wolf.
White Wolf, because that's actually a character in the comics who is like a kind of anti-hero and he's not on good terms with T'Challa, but when T'Challa has problems, he helps T'Challa out. Really cool.
Right.
I was pretty sad. I talked about this with my brothers as well, where Bucky got a new arm, but it didn't do crap with it. He was just using it.
No, he just got it and then was like, okay,
it looked so cool. It had the colors of the freaking suit and stuff. So I was like, do some bionic stuff with this, man. And then he gets a gun and just starts killing people.
And he just starts shooting. He doesn't really do much with the arm, unfortunately. But he does have the one scene with Rocket.
Oh, man. That was so cool. I like when Rocket came down. He's like,
how much for the arm? It's not for sale. I'm going to get that arm. Genius.
Freaking, I've got to say, I'm not looking for problems in the movie, but if we need to talk about stuff that I didn't like,
just some negatives.
Vision was underpowered as flip.
Vision was underpowered. I mean, but he was, he was
damaged the whole time, kind of. He was damaged
because he was in his human form, and then he got stabbed.
But that I freaking my heart.
I jolted. I was like,
whoa.
Man, that was brutal. But he was weakened
the whole time from the get go,
the first fight scene. So
he got stabbed to the freaking stomach. That's not
a
good place to be.
So he was weakened pretty much throughout the whole movie. That's why he probably didn't do much. And they probably thought when they were making the movie we need to weaken him, I guess, because he is basically Superman. So
he is basically broken because the guy got the stone in the front of his face.
In the movies, Vision said that because of the stab, it prevents him from phasing.
Yeah, and that's basically what
makes him so freaking OP, because you can't touch him.
And I gotta say, his beam was stupidly weak. That was BS. Because that's a beam. That's an Infinity Stone beam.
Yeah.
And it was just weak as flip. So I was And I got to say, we talked about this as well yesterday. The Black Order was kind of weak, man. That was bad. And how they died was way too convenient.
Yeah, at first, the first half of the movie, they were really strong. I was like, damn, you know.
When Ebony
these
Ma
are-
like comes in and he's like with like the strong guy. What's his name?
I don't know.
Well, at least the muscly guy.
something Cole.
Yeah, Cole Obsidian.
Cole Obsidian.
And Ebony Ma, they arrive and they're like, oh, give us the Infinity Stone. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna give him an Iron Man. Like, ask Brandon to become the Hulk. And Brandon's like,
yeah,
no.
Brandon's like, I need a minute.
His neck becomes
Yeah.
green. He's trying to force it
And
out.
I was
He's
like,
like,
you're embarrassing me in
"No!"
front of my magician friends.
And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna fix it. And then the first time we see the suit,
Yeah.
I was like,
was
and
like,
he removes the glasses,
"Ooh."
and the glasses like get slurped into his hand. It's freaking. That was epic.
was
I was
epic.
like, yes.
And it had the music from the first Avengers when he falls down the building and the Mark 7 goes onto him in the air. Like that theme played again.
And I was like, yes, I'm ready.
Man.
But that was great. But then
was
they were strong. Ebony,
Yeah,
he
Ebony
was
Ma and,
wrecking
like,
ass.
he has like telekinesis. He was owning Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange is broken.
And Doctor Strange went 1-on-1 with freaking Thanos.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, and then like the scene happened with Vision, where Vision was like heavily unpowered, and like I kind of say Wanda was unpowered as well in that scene.
But I guess Wanda is not really like a hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, but
person,
she can
and then
literally
when-
change reality in the comics. She can like
Yeah, that's the comics.
yeah,
man.
okay.
This is the
She's
movies.
she's not as strong as she is.
I
in
mean,
the
but
comics.
she was kicking ass.
She was kicking ass in the last battle where the like ground spinner thingies.
Yeah, and,
like, and she's like,
stood up
and I was like,
through all the.
why was she?
Why was she up there
No,
all this time?
But that was great. But the thing is, like in that scene where Vision gets stabbed, and Proxima Midnight and the other guy they come and they're fighting, and then Natasha comes in and she was heavily overpowered in this movie.
Yeah, she just went 1-on-1 with Proxima Midnight, and she's just
She
has no power.
She is a human
like even
being.
you know Steve.
She could say she's peak human being, though. Peak human being ability. I mean, she got
I guess
training
so,
and
but
she has been trained her whole life. Blah blah.
yeah, but she's just a woman.
She's just a woman, and she goes.
She goes 1-on-1 with Proxima Midnight.
What is stupid?
Yeah.
It was cool though. The scenes
But
were
I
great.
mean, yeah, that scene was badass. But they have trained, you know, they can actually fight, you know, and they have Steve. So.
And they have Steve. I mean, that's
And Falcon can fly.
But when Steve got hit in the head by Thanos, man,
Ooh, I thought
the man was down. He was out though. He was definitely out.
Yeah, like
Yes.
I was like, yeah, he was out. He was out for a while. It was
But the sound, because there was no music. There was no background sound.
Well, that was music.
Was that music?
Yeah,
I
that was
didn't
like
even
this
freaking
dramatic
notice it.
music.
Oh, frick! I didn't even notice it.
And then Steve was holding the hand. He was yelling, and then Thanos was like,
Yeah, and he was
I
down.
was like,
man.
well, he's out.
That man is down.
But I was scared, man, because when Thanos stabbed Tony,
Man,
I was like,
it's over.
This is it. This
Man,
is freaking it. Like,
definitely
he's,
gonna die.
He's going down. And then he didn't. And then I was like,
Yep.
relieved.
Yeah.
But then instantly after, I was like, man, you know, they
had
again,
to do it.
they
again they
failed.
meme us.
Yeah. And then when Thanos came to Wakanda,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
He is definitely
like,
gonna
now
kill
he's gonna
somebody
kill
now.
Steve
Yeah.
because Tony survived.
Yep.
And then
He didn't
I
kill
was
Steve.
scared, man. I was shaking.
Because when the hit in the head was, I was like,
Yeah.
no, don't
I was like,
do it,
Steve,
man.
frick, don't do it, man. Just don't get killed.
And
And
I
then
got
he luckily survived. So
the scene where he removes, where he like puts the time back and then puts Vision together and then removes
Yeah,
Vision's
and then
stone. That was
he
brutal,
rips out
man.
the stone.
Because you see the body of Vision and like his head
Yeah,
is
like-
ruptured, man. It's open.
yeah,
and
his
grabbed.
head is like open and
That was
all the color leaves, and then he's just on the ground.
That was
with
disgusting,
white
man.
eyes.
That was freaking
was
disgusting.
Brutal.
And also the scene where he's torturing the sister of Gamora. That was disgusting as well, man.
Yeah, when he just rips her.
He's like, okay. She's like, "Ah!" That was,
Yeah.
man, that was some brutal stuff.
Yeah, even at the beginning when he just holds the what is it, the Power Stone?
Yeah, and he
The
like
purple
starts
one, and
like
he just
destroying
holds it
the
against
head of
Thor's
Thor.
head. He's like, "Ah!"
And I liked how they fulfilled our prediction, because we were in the beginning before the whole movie. Like I think it was like a month ago. We were like, yeah, if he at the end of the movie snaps his fingers and then
Yeah.
you know he destroys everything, and then
and then he destroys half the universe.
yeah. And then at the end of the movie, like when Thor like freaking, because he's like doing stuff and Thor just like goes through it and like flipping slices him and like hacks him in the body and like pushes it in. He's like, yeah, bro. And then he's like,
should have gone for the
and
head.
then he snaps his fingers. And boom, goes to the freaking soul plane world in the soul stone, the soul world, and sees Gamora's soul. Probably. These are all predictions. Sees Gamora's soul, and then she asks him like, "Yo, did you do it?" And he's like, "Yes." And then she asks him like, "Yo, how much did it cost?" And he's like, everything. And then he goes back and he's like, well,
and he's like, well, I'm done.
Well, I'm done. Bye.
He's a happy man.
And then you see that everybody is devastated. The scene where Okoye, like, she sees Black Panther, like T'Challa, and he goes away, and he's like,
but Okoye, she didn't go.
No.
So, I don't know what that means. Is she going?
She
might be going as well.
Bro, we still got M'Baku, man. We still got my boy.
We still have M'Baku. No, he vaporize?
No, he didn't vaporize, man. He was standing there, and people were vaporizing around him.
But oh man.
So I mean, M'Baku can lead when T'Challa's not there. We can give him.
M'Baku's still.
Give my man some screen time, man.
Yeah, but like the final shot of like the Avengers when Steve is just sitting on the ground, he's like, "Oh God."
Yeah, and he realizes that
he was like we messed up. Like they weren't able to stop him, man.
Yep.
They just freaking failed.
And for real, for me, it would be, and that's just me. It would be really cool to see Steve wield the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, Spider-Man twice in the comics once, and he just gets fried. He just turns to ashes, so he's not strong enough.
Whoa.
Steve does it, and Steve can wield it. Iron Man wields it. He can do it. Even Black Panther does it once. He wields it, and it works. Nice. But don't give it to Peter because he will die. He will turn to ashes. And I gotta say, Peter Quill is... he freaking
he messed it up.
He messed big time.
They had the chance to take the Infinity Gauntlet.
It was almost off, man.
It was off at one point, and then Thanos still grabbed it.
Oh man! And people are not not completely happy with the Game of Thrones. What's his name? About his kind of part of the movie because
I don't get it.
Yeah, they're like it was weird because he was just there and his character didn't really do anything and it was badly written because it didn't like. Because I was enjoying that scene, man. I was like, oh, Thor is like he's holding himself and he's burning up.
I mean,
it was so cool when Groot was like, freaking, he's looking for it, and then, like, and his arms burn and he's like cuts it off and then like,
that was epic. That was like Groot's sort of
kind of redemption.
Yeah. He wasn't doing anything for the whole movie. He was just playing his video games. Genius.
Groot is a really great guy.
And then at the battle, he started fighting as well, man. He was owning some aliens.
He like just like freaking killed three and like one like three. Like,
it was like like the scene with when Steve and Thor meet again. It's like Steve's like, new haircut, and Thor's like, yes, I see you've stolen my beard. And Steve's like, yeah. Like, this is my new friend, Tree. I am Groot, and I am Steve Rogers. That's genius, man.
I liked the part of the movie where they are all standing there, and all the weird aliens are like hidden on the barrier, and some go through and some don't, and then
like they just cut off half of their shit and then they fall in.
And then Black Panther is like he says something in his the language,
open
and then they all like before they all like put up their shields. That was such a cool scene.
Yeah, they put all the shields and then started shooting shit. That was epic.
And then like
he's like charged.
And then when he opens up, they start like the Ibam Bang. That was so cool.
That was so epic.
And then when they run, flipping Captain America,
and Black Panther just like sprinting way faster.
And then they jump. And you
jump,
see
like two of them. They jump in and they just go fighting.
And you see the explosion of Black Panther, and you see like Tony like flipping hitting one already, like boom, and like it's so cool.
And then one shot of them fighting back to back, just kicking ass.
I love that bromance, man. Yeah. That's great.
Steve T'Challa.
And that's why I think like Steve he's messed up now. He's like, no, my boy, he's gone. I need to save my boy.
Well, Bucky.
No. Yeah, of course, Bucky and T'Challa. He's like, my boys, man. I need to save him.
Yeah. Oh man, just even when they see that Wakanda's under attack, they're all standing in front of the window. And then Steve and T'Challa look at each other like they know like shit. Because they're like both of them are the leaders, really.
Yeah, of course they
That's
are.
so epic.
And that I like the scene where like Captain Cap and his team that has been on the run for like a year or 2 years comes back, and they're like at Rhodes' place, and they come in and he's like, arrest them. And Rhodes is
Nope.
nope. And he just puts them away. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
That was badass.
That was
like, and
badass.
Steve, like, he wasn't taking shit from anyone anymore, man.
Yeah, because but
like, he was just in front of Ross, like, yeah, if you're in our way, we'll fight you too.
Yep. And he's like, the universe is this is bad, man.
Yeah, like, he just doesn't give a shit. He needs to, yeah.
And I gotta say, I was waiting for the Hulk.
Yeah, I was like,
freaking
Hulk's
Zero.
gonna bust out of the armor and fight.
When
the
he
big
like
dude
got put in the freaking wall, I was like, this is it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Burst out of that wall and flipping get wrecked probably again, but it's gonna be cool. Didn't happen.
Didn't freaking happen, man.
But yeah, some people are saying that like because we got the kind of Planet Hulk movie where like the Hulk got a lot of screen time and it wasn't Mark Ruffalo. That's why he got a lot of screen time in this movie. Because people want to see Mark Ruffalo, and they pay Mark Ruffalo for a movie, so
yeah,
might as well use the guy.
But yeah, but that was kind of disappointing for me.
Yeah, it was
because in the beginning, Ruffalo was like really desperate and he was like scared and shit, and he was like, Tony, Thanos is coming, Thor's gone. You know, that was really cool.
He has seen, man. He has seen.
He got his ass kicked by Thanos. He
was
scared.
And he saw him freaking killing Loki. Loki is pretty strong, man.
Yeah. And then, towards the end, like, he's in the Hulkbuster and he's, like, falling down. And I was like, come on.
He's
man.
making
like,
jokes.
They're going into battle and, like, they made this whole CGI scene just for a joke.
Yeah, I gotta say, the best acting in the movie is definitely Tony Stark and the Cap. Because Tony Stark's scenes were all so on point.
Yeah, like
that man,
Robert, he's such a great actor, man. When he got stabbed and stuff,
yep,
that shit was so damn good.
It was that scene where he like everybody's kind of defeated and he is like on his own fighting Thanos.
Yeah,
and he like puts his shield like flipping merges with the ground and he like has a big hammer and he slaps Thanos in the face. And Thanos hits his helmet and falls off and just a new one grows right away.
New one.
Freaking that was a great scene. He's
and then like he got like shit destroyed and then he took like the armor from his leg and he moved it up to his arm to make a weapon.
Yep, that was really cool. And then he jumps to Thanos and like his feet like they merge to the thruster and like
he blasts him in the face.
And then he just gets
these shock things and
then he just gets freaking wrecked, like freaking stabbed.
When he get man,
and you see the agony on his face. He's like, no, I failed, and he's like, that was so cool.
But that's like Steve didn't really have much to do in the movie, unfortunately.
No, but all the Steve scenes were great.
Yeah, all his scenes were badass. But Thor, man, he was shining in the movie.
And they are upping his power. It doesn't make any sense, but it's cool.
Yeah,
because it really doesn't make any sense.
Way stronger at the end.
Yeah, it literally doesn't.
He was
make
owning
any sense.
everything.
He was like.
He was owning the whole army by himself, and then he almost killed Thanos by himself.
Because they are losing, and then he just
Thor comes and
like,
yep, done. Okay,
like around the people, all the aliens they freaking die, and he's like, he's just having fun.
Yep,
and he just starts flying and like freaking like, and Stormbreaker is broken. I gotta say it. It's in the comics as well. It's a strong weapon. And I was like, because when he was like, I need to forge Stormbreaker, I was like, yes.
Yep.
Finally, because he like it's a power up for him, but the fact that he's like also like so broken now compared to, because if you literally believe me, if you'd compare him to like the Thor in the first
Avengers
movie,
or Avengers 2,
man,
like he's way stronger than this one.
Yep, that man is
throws around the hammers and he just freaking owns all the aliens. And my favorite Thor scene wasn't even his epic return or any of that. Like my favorite scene of Thor was in the ship when he's talking to Rocket and he's talking about everyone that he's lost, and he's trying to be optimistic, but he's trying to be the cool guy, but he's crying. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, man, Hemsworth. Yeah.
But that was good,
man.
That was some good acting.
That was a great freaking performance, man.
That was some good acting, definitely.
And that's too bad that Steve didn't have like an emotional sort of moment like that. Like Tony had the stabbing scene, and Thor had that scene, and Steve didn't really.
And they had like way more screen time. Way more screen time. Because all the Steve scenes were pretty much like Steve's epic. He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's leading the army. He's fighting.
But he's being set up to lead the team again. You know what I mean?
Steve.
Yeah, because
I mean, he always kind of leads the team.
yeah, but the thing is, like, the team is kind of dead now. Because I mean, the Avengers were like disbanded, kind of blah blah, and now because everything has gone to shit, he needs to lead the team again as the captain and save the day.
Make it whole again.
Yep. And then he's probably gonna have some scenes with like that he's like thinking about the old times, how like blah blah.
Steve and Tony are gonna meet in Avengers 4 again, so and that will be that's gonna be a good scene.
It's gonna be a good scene because it's gonna be emotional.
Yeah,
because they know that they both want to save freaking people, man.
Yep.
They both want the same thing. They just have different ways of getting to point A.
I guess so, yeah.
And they clashed hard in Civil War, man. Hard. That's a really emotional movie as well. Whoa, crap! I did it again. But that's a really emotional movie as well. So the moment that they meet, it's gonna be filled with like emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be. I think it's not gonna be in a chill moment. It's gonna be in the heat of the battle, probably. They like meet or like
maybe,
something like that. And then they need to like work together, and then by working together, they find like their passion again. They're like, oh, but this is like the same thing where we had in the start, where we're just working together as a team and we're having banter and stuff, and it worked. I want to see that stuff, man. I want to see this reunion of the Cap and Iron Man working together again.
That's gonna happen
with the Hulk and with Thor and like the old people. Like give them
the first 6.
Give them this big shiny moment, and then you can kill them off. Then I don't care, man. Kill them off then. Yeah. But give them this last shiny moment.
Final sort of
with good CGI because we got money now and we got better computers.
Give me the Hulk.
Give me the Hulk.
Banner in the suit.
And give me a strong Hulk, man. Give me a strong Hulk.
Strong Hulk.
Give me.
Everyone was pretty strong in the movie.
Yeah.
And
even you can even remove Thor's arm, man. You can even do that. I don't care, man. Do it.
Yep.
Frick.
And
also, so Captain Marvel, we saw her like sign part of a suit in the post-credit scene. Her movie is gonna play out in the 90s, and Nick Fury is gonna be a big part of that movie.
Nick Fury?
Yeah. Wait, is that wrong? Is that the wrong spelling, Nick Fury? Like?
No, that's from the Thor Ragnarok sort of promotional stuff, where Thor has the things on the wall, and he says like Nick Fury, or like, is that really his name, or is it actually pronounced Furry?
But that's stuff. He's gonna be a big part of her movie, and theorists are saying, or like people on YouTube are saying that like probably she's gonna be like one of those.
And that's why he calls her then.
Yeah.
Because he knows her from the
that's
90s. When you see in the movie, and then that's why he knows her, and then he calls her.
And they said that she's gonna be the strongest character they've ever done in the MCU.
Stronger
up
than
until now.
Witch?
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. And they need this kind of power to like
take off Thanos.
Even the stakes, make it a little bit more like, okay, we got a really strong person as well. You guys got this purple guy, and we got
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and she's of course not the level of like Odin or something with the Odin stuff. He is freaking broken. He is really, he's not like was that one super strong character in Marvel Universe? What's his name?
There's so many.
Yeah, but like the broken, like the super strong ones.
What, the Celestials?
Yeah.
Like one above all.
Yeah, stuff like she's not on that level, of course, but she is strong. And I'm hyped for that movie. I'm super hyped for the movie because I want to see how they like tie it in with all the stuff that happened in that time.
The Captain Marvel is going to come out in March
in
next
2020.
year?
Yeah, 2019. Sorry, 2019. Yeah. And then the fourth movie, untitled movie, right?
Yeah, Avengers 4, aka Avengers Untitled.
AKA Avengers,
like May.
AKA 5th. Gauntlet, maybe something.
Maybe Avengers Reborn, maybe Avengers Resurrection,
maybe Avengers huge purple veiny ballsack chin guy dies. Hey, who knows?
We don't know. Like maybe Avengers The Rise of Steve.
Maybe Avengers Rise of Steve becomes Infinity Gauntlet dude and gets a
Steve
Harry Purple ballsack.
And and Infinity Gauntlet at the same
Yeah.
time.
Broken. Steve
Maybe
becomes...
Avengers. My name's Korg.
That would be a great movie. Korg, they need
Wanna
to bring
come?
him back, man.
Yeah.
Frick, he is stone. He's indestructible.
He's made of rocks, so he's probably going to be fine. Hopefully,
He
if they
needs
make
to,
another
man.
Thor movie, or I don't know in what movie Korg would appear, but
Yeah. But we have been talking for a long time.
yes, I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, we are definitely gonna make more stuff on this because we're gonna need the theories and predictions for the fourth one, of course, and just some character stuff as well. But it's gonna be out there, man. Just keep watching,
Keep
listening.
yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Right.
Eat your veggies, man. Eat them.
Eat your veggies.
It's important, man.
It's important.
Eat
You
'em.
gotta get your vitamins,
Yeah, man.
minerals,
And
carbs, your fats, your proteins,
yay!
and
I need to
I'm
drink.
about to fall asleep.
Yeah. So yo, see you later.
Hey, anyway, until next time.
See you later.